Hello, I'm William, Marketing Director at William Russell, and in this video I'm going to take you through the new online quote journey for our new life insurance product. So this version is a beta version. It is there are a few elements on it which will change when we publish the final version to production on the 15th of April, but I'll let you know what's changing and what will be different. The page you can see here is the first page of the quote tool. From this point, the customer can select one of three insurance products to quote for. Obviously, for this video, we'll look at the life insurance journey. Before we get onto the main quote form, we ask a couple of quick questions of the customer. The first one is new to the quote journey. It doesn't appear in the old quote tool, and it is whether the customer has consumed nicotine products in the past 12 months. And the definition of nicotine is broad. We mean cigarettes, cigars, e-cigarettes, vapes, basically anything with nicotine in it. If the customer selects yes, then the premiums are slightly higher to reflect the higher risk. And if the customer selects no, the premiums are lower to reflect the slightly lower risk. So the second question is about when the customer wants a policy to start. The response to this question doesn't have a bearing on premium or start date. It's purely for our internal lead scoring metrics. We want to know roughly what the urgency of the policy is for the prospective customer. Again, it doesn't matter what you select, the premium will be unchanged. So let's just select the top one. Then we get onto the main part of the quote journey, which is the form. So the structure of the page from here on in is broadly consistent. On the left-hand side, we have information, content, FAQs, guidance. And on the right-hand side, we have the forms, and on the subsequent pages, we have the dynamic elements. So the form is broadly similar to the old quote tool. Let me just run through it quickly. You'll see that I pre-filled to save a bit of time. So first of all, we have the name, age, nationality. Where we ask the country of residence, we've added a bit more context. On the previous quote tool, we had some feedback that it wasn't clear enough that the cover will be international, so we just clarified that. We ask occupation, and it's worth dwelling on the income field. So you'll see there are two elements here. There's a drop down for currency, and then there's a income field. So whatever currency the customer selects will govern the currency of the benefits and the premium on the subsequent pages. And the salary that the user inputs here will dictate the maximum possible life benefit. As you recall, the maximum benefit is 20 times salary up to 2 million. So if my salary is $50,000 US, the maximum life benefit on the next page will be $1 million US. We then move on to the contact details. So as with the old quote tool, we ask telephone and email, and we also have a broker identification field. So if a customer selects this checkbox, a secondary pre-text field will appear, and the customer can input the name of the referring brokerage. Now, if these two fields are completed, the quote record in our CRM will be flagged as belonging to a broker, and as a result, the quote will not feature in the pipeline for our direct sales team. So there's no risk of the customer being contacted by our direct sales team. So the next page is the plan builder for the life product. So again, it's the same format as the previous page. We have the informational content on the left, and on the right, we have the dynamic elements. So you'll see that on the top, we have the life insurance benefit selector. So this is the core benefit of the product. It's mandatory, so it cannot be deselected. And then below, we have all the optional benefits. Let me deselect it so it's a bit clearer. So you'll see that we have income protection bang in the middle. This is an experiment which we tried on beta, which didn't quite work. I think it's better if the income protection box appears below the life insurance benefits. So on the version that goes live on the 15th of April, then that will be right at the bottom. So I'll come back to the optional benefits, but let's have a quick look at the life insurance benefit box to begin with. You'll see that we have a bit of information about the benefit and then a slider. The maximum benefit is 1 million, which is 20 times the salary I inputted on the previous page, and the user can just slide up and down in increments of 10,000 just to get a different price, and the price dynamically updates in this little red box here. Let's move on to the optional benefits turn in turn. So we first of all have the accidental death benefit. It's quite similar to the old accidental death benefit. There are a couple of modifications. You'll see that there's a kind of sublimit for permanent disablement. You'll see that the maximum benefit for the accident benefit is capped at whatever's been selected for life. So if I reduce the life benefit to say about 500,000, you'll see that the maximum benefit here reduces to the same. And if I start adding an accident benefit, you'll see that the premium updates. An interesting point is that if I increase the life benefit subsequently, you'll notice that the slider expands with there's a bit more room for the accident benefit to grow. And you'll see that the accident benefit can never exceed the life insurance benefit. I'll come back to income at the end of this section. Let's have a quick look at the adult critical illness benefit. So again, this is something which has to be added by the customer. There's another beta issue we have here. We experimented with merging the child critical illness benefit with the adult critical illness benefit. We don't think it works very well, so we're going to separate it out. So on the final version, which you see from the 15th, there will be a separate box similar to the funeral benefit field for the child critical illness benefit, which it will only be viewable to the user if they've already added adult critical illness. So let's just focus on the critical illness part now. The maximum benefit's 100,000, and you can add increments of 10. And it's very simple. You can add or remove it. For the child critical illness, there's no benefit selection. It's a flat benefit of 5,000, but you can select the number of children you want to add. So you can starting off at 0 all the way up to 10, God forbid. But again, that will be broken out onto a separate benefit box on the final version. And then finally, the funeral benefit. So this, again, is a very simple benefit. It's just add or remove. It's a flat benefit of 5K. And you'll see that the price, which is kind of anchored to the top of the screen here, that updates as you add or remove. So let's proceed with this selection and go to the summary page. So this is the end of the quote journey. It states your final price. It has a bit of information about the benefits of the product, what happens next. Some document links to our website where you can look at the policy wording, some information about applying, a few kind of trust features. So there's obviously a bit of a styling issue here, which we'll fix before we go live. And then finally some FAQs at the bottom, just to kind of provide as much guidance as we can to the customer. If the customer wants to edit the quote at this point, they can always click quote, and you'll return to the previous page where you can happily tweak the life benefit and the exit benefit to your heart's content. So that is the end of the demonstration. I hope you find it useful.